These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Pimpy. Pimpy says, I'm impressed with Al Sadini. This is not what I was expecting. I was expecting him to be another one of those clones of Maliki embedded in corruption. So far, it doesn't seem that way. Mountain Goat article, quote, Governor of the central bank called on merchants to deal directly with banks, unquote. Mountain Goat says it's about time the CBI wakes up to another source of the monetary problems plaguing Iraq. This effort will help so much in reducing speculation, thus the CBI will be able to control the exchange rate of the dinar. Remember that these street brokers and speculators are not going through the new platform to track corruption either in the exchange of dinars to dollars, so this effort is a win-win for everyone. Mark Z via PDK, one group of sources swear it will happen between Wednesday and Saturday of this week. Another one thinks it will happen between the 12th and the 17th. I am just very confident it will happen this month. All right, Margarita says, I know everyone is excited, but at the end of yesterday's article from Henig's post on the 9th, they are still coming out with a 20K note. All of the article says is modifying the structure of notes. The 20K would do that I would think. I don't see the words smaller notes, not to mention the article says singular denomination. It isn't plural. Wouldn't smaller notes be more than one? Frank26 via Firefly. Today, the U.S. Fed explained more on those 60 banks and the fake airline tickets they were selling to us. They're saying more than $150 million was being stolen by these banks. They would sell by $1,460, then resell to the citizens at $1,600. Frank says animals. Firefly, these 60 banks have been busted. Iraq wants to clean up and do what's right so we can reward our citizens, but corruption must be dealt with. Frank says, didn't I say that was the reason why we don't have the monetary reform? Because of the corruption of Iran. Walking Stick via Frank26, this action of monetary reform education restores confidence at the speed of light with the citizens. We would advise you don't quit your job. The reason why is because this is a long process that has steps to be done. They still have much to do. It's called the float. All right, Mark Z, question any news on the dinar rate? Mark Z says, many rumors and chatters that I am way off of the dinar rate, that the rates may be significantly higher than I've been saying. I hope this is accurate. I don't know if it's because the dollar rates are starting to slide in value. I've been hearing other rates, but have been asked not to share them. If I get the go-ahead, I will share rates. Frank26, the only reason why they didn't have the reinstitution of their currency was because of Iran. They're not about to raise the value and let them continue to steal. They had to change their whole banking structure. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to take all last year, but here we are. Sandy Ingram article quote, Iraq estimates 40% of population is age below 15. Estimated population of Iraq for the years of 22 is 42 million. Reason the government is overly concerned with such a large number of unemployed youth is because they have the time and the motivation to protest. It is proven fact they can change the face of the Iraq government like they did in 2020, take over parliament like they did in 2022. All right, Nader from the Mideast question, what happens if they change the currency? What happened to the dinar of their home? You know how many Iraqis hold the dinar? If tomorrow they decide to change the currency and they say the old one you have, you cannot do anything about it. You just have to throw it away or burn it or use it as toilet paper. You know how many people will be mad. Nader says, so you have dinars. You can exchange them, yes. If they go to a small category notes, which for me, it's going to take a while to do that. They're going to give some time between 15 to 90 days or 6 months or whatever they're going to give you to exchange your money. Caparoni says, I can assure you the Iraqi dinar will remain weak until the day comes when they begin to build a significant diverse economy. As clearly stated in the IMF article for consultation, the staff encourages Iraq to create the conditions allowing them to move to a more flexible exchange rate policy. That would allow a predictable and gradual appreciation. In other words, if Iraq can diversify their economy, then they can move to a float to allow currency to rise based on the success and growth of that economy. There is no overnight RV. Mark Z via PDK article quote Sudanese government obliges all its institutions to deal in Iraqi dinar, unquote. Mark Z says this is a good one to watch. This one is about de-dollarization in Iraq. They are now forcing the government to run on dinar, and dinar only. De-dollarization is going to be the theme coming out. This is important for them moving forward with the revaluation of their currency. Frank 26 bank story. The name is protected. The bank friend says I called a local family-owned bank where we have had an account for the last 34 years. I told the banker we would be exchanging some dinars in the very near future. Wanted to know the fees for doing so. He told me most, if not all, locally owned banks would be sending their exchanges to the Frost Bank here in San Antonio. Frank says this bank officer knows the procedure to exchange the Iraqi dinar. What did we tell you about banks being educated all around the world? This bank officer has no problem talking to our friend here. Again, the name is protected. The Frost Bank in San Antonio was at 3%. Frank says that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3% range. The name protected said our bank would charge us only $34 courier fee. He also said national banks such as Chase, Bank of America, etc. have their own departments and we would have to check with them on their rates. Frost Bank seems to be the big dog with the locally owned banks in San Antonio area. Frank says, remember when I told you CBI was getting ready and then I said you should too? All the banks are, in my opinion. And lastly, Mark Z via PDK, we are still hearing everywhere from now to the end of the month for the release. The PTB do not want us to know the date. They're going to keep throwing out dates and curves to keep us guessing, and they are doing this on purpose.